Dr. Ann Speckhard is director of the International Center for the Study of Violent Extremism. She's also author of the book ISIS Defectors, and she joins us now with more about the attacks in New York, New Jersey, and Minnesota. And the suspect in the New York attacks, Ahmad Khan Rahami, is in custody. What do we know about him?
Not too much yet. We know that he's a naturalized citizen, that his parents are from Afghanistan, I believe. And we don't know where he's been living. He has a brother, I'm told by another journalist, and one of his neighbors was saying that if it's him that did this, he would bring shame on his family. But we know precious little, and we're soon to find out.
Investigators believe that he used pressure cooker bombs in New York. Is that a hallmark of Al-Qaeda or ISIS?
It certainly is. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula was the first one to publicize. They wrote an article called "Make a Bomb in the Kitchen of Your Mom." Isn't that lovely? And they put it on their online magazine Inspire. The Tsarnaevs followed the instructions and they made their pressure cooker bombs. Now ISIS has republished the article on their online magazine, Dabiq. And Dabiq, it's called Dabiq because they glorify the place in Syria where they think the final fight between Christians and Muslims is going to take place for the end times, the end of the world. And they again promoted making pressure cooker bombs and with the full instructions. It's basically the same article.
Tell us more about ISIS. What have you learned about their inner workings, about the inner workings of the caliphate?
Well, it's different in different places, but the way that it's working with trying to bring in Americans is that it's mostly casting this wide net, putting out all these internet materials, which are really slick, videos, different things. And then they watch, because social media allows them to watch, who's responding to our materials. And when somebody starts retweeting them, endorsing them, liking them, they contact that person. And they actually say things like, "Hey, you liked my video? Would you like to talk? Could we hop on Skype? Or would you like to go over to Telegram and we could talk more privately?" And then they try to meet their needs in the beginning and seduce them into the group, all the time trying to convince them that the West is evil, that their problems are because of the West, and that they're building this dream, this utopia caliphate, and that to get to the caliphate, you have to destroy the existing world order. So place a bomb in New York, place a bomb in Jersey to blow up when the Marines are going by.
ISIS claimed the Minnesota attacker as its own. Do you think he was recruited by them, or was he self-radicalized?
You know, given that he's following this pattern of stabbing attacks, we first saw the rash of stabbing attacks in what some people refer to as the Third Intifada among the Palestinians against Israelis. And then we started to see stabbings elsewhere and really promoted by ISIS. And Adnani, who we now have killed, was telling his followers, any act that you take against a Westerner, even if you pick up a rock and smash his head, if you take a knife, a kitchen knife, and kill him, it's an act in behalf of us. And if you're martyred, you go right to paradise, and all the promises of martyrdom according to their interpretation of Islam, which most people wouldn't agree with. And so now we're seeing stabbings like this. So probably, given that we were seeing this pattern from ISIS, he probably picked up on it.
How can we shut down these online ISIS recruiters?
Well, we have to do exactly what we're doing on the battlefield. I mean, we're winning on the battlefield in Syria and Iraq. We need to win on the digital battlefield, and we need to flood it out with stories of ISIS defectors. So, for instance, at the International Center for the Study of Violent Extremism, we've interviewed, I think it's 38 ISIS defectors now, most of them on video. And they're telling the true story of ISIS. They're saying, I went believing it was going to be a caliphate and a utopia. It's not. It's not even Islamic. It's the ugliest thing. They force you to kill. You'll see rapes. You'll see cover-ups. You'll see corruption. And don't come here. Don't join the caliphate, because it's not a caliphate and it's not Islam. And we need to flood that out on the internet. And we've cut 2 of our videos into short clips. We name them things that sound like ISIS, so that someone like this kid in Minnesota who's downloading ISIS materials, perhaps, would download a couple of ours and go, oh, wow, that kind of challenges things. And we also need to address the real grievances that people have. I mean, if people are really getting wound up about drone kills that kill children and mothers, then we need to think about how can we have a smaller footprint when we're fighting terrorists on the ground. So, there's many, many things that we need to do.
In both New York and Minnesota, it seems we dodged a bullet. There wasn't loss of life, thank the Lord. How can we better protect our citizens from these attacks?
Be really vigilant, be aware of what to do in an emergency like that. I went to a meeting at the FBI a couple weeks ago and walked by a sack that was just sitting next to the metro, and it caused me alarm. I told the FBI, and they said, well, you didn't snoop in it, did you? Because a lot of times they detonate when you open them up. And I thought, I didn't know that. I mean, that's something we should all know, that we report empty bags sitting around that look suspicious, like right next to the metro, and also that we shouldn't touch them and probably not use our phone around them. And we just really have to work against this virulent ideology that's out there that's trying to trap young, naive kids. And we need to communicate to these kids that you're part of society, you matter, and things that you're angry about, we can deal with those, but we don't deal with those in violent ways.
All right, Dr. Ann Speckhard, thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks for your insights.
You're welcome.